Welcome into Coach and
favorite shows of the entire week. Welcome in, everybody, to the Coach and Bro Show, part of the Behind the Turnbuckle universe. Using a different background today, just because I can. Now, over the course of the next 60 to 90 minutes, we're talking everything pro wrestling. Now, if you're new and you're coming here and you're looking for us to break down Raw and SmackDown segment by segment, go look for a different show. That's not this show. We're talking about the business of wrestling and the bigger topics that are going on currently as we head into the final 3 months of 2025. Raw is later tonight. I have no clue where it is. Doesn't matter. All right. I'm the coach side of this. The bro side is my good friend, the greatest writer in the history of pro wrestling. My main man whose favorite season just came to an end yesterday. He is in mourning today, but hopefully everybody in the chat say, hey, Vince, pick it up. Just right, pick it up. Pick up his spirits a little bit. Mr. Vince Russo, good afternoon.
Coach, I have to tell you, honestly, I'm not in mourning because of two reasons. Very, very lucrative fantasy baseball year.
Wow. How many did you cash in? I know you do like 4 or 5.
I was in 5 leagues, 3 first, 1 second, 1 third. And my goal was to be in the money of all 5 leagues.
And you did. I'm sure you paid probably the top 3, right?
Yes.
Right.
So very lucrative. Number 2, Bo Mel got canned today, and I was dancing. Talk about a mamby-pamby manager. He was about as mamby-pamby as it got. So even though the Giants didn't make the playoffs, we got rid of Bo Mel. We've got something to look forward to next year.
You really do. Now, your situation not nearly as bad as the New York Mets.
Oh, man. I watched that game yesterday, and all I could imagine was being back in New York. You know, Coach, WFAN, the Fan. I grew up on the Fan in New York. Those Met fans this morning, I can't even imagine. They had to be out of control.
So there's a couple of guys that have become kind of stars because of social media, and there's a guy over at Barstool named Frank the Tank. Yeah. He's like the biggest Mets fan. He literally will just go on these rants where he spits everywhere, and he did this one where he's like this. They were at once had the best record after 74 games in Major League Baseball, and so the Reds used this and put it on their website and their ex and said, what's the problem? Yeah. That's Major League trolling right there. They used 8 pitchers yesterday and got shut out. Vince, how do you get shut out on game 162 with the playoffs on the line?
You know, I have to tell you, Coach, I think you will appreciate this because I learned this over the years. The Mets had the number 1 payroll in baseball, $580 million. The Reds were in the bottom 10. Coach, I've always said this. I don't care how much money you spend. I don't care who's on your roster. It's the chemistry. It is all about team chemistry. We have seen, teams with a very, very low payroll go all the way. It's not about just acquiring superstars. Chemistry is everything.
Whoa. Stop it right there.
Go ahead.
Are you talking about Major League Baseball?
Yes.
Or are you talking about TKO? And the WWE, because you could say the exact same thing that you just said and just insert WWE into that, and it would be the exact same thing.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely true. Yes.
Except they don't spend the money that we think they did. A couple of talent, by the way, we're not going to hit on it today because I got to get a little more information, but one female talent just quit, and she did a video. And normally, you don't want to burn bridges, and she was like, hey, I want to tell the truth. They made me an offer. It sucked. And so I'm going to walk away because I have reality shows. I have dating shows. I'm going to go on this stuff. And she's walking away she's a pretty well-known name. But I want to get more details. I'm kind of throwing it out there as TKO continues to make billions and pays nobody anything. All right, Vince, we got a lot to talk about today. We've got botched finishes. We have Kevin Nash giving us a great topic and long-term storytelling, which I know is one of your favorite topics to talk about. However, on this show, we have grown such a great audience. They have a lot of questions. They have a lot of things that they want us to hit on. On Mondays is different than Thursdays. So tell the good people how they can be a part of it.
Yeah, guys, we love you being a part of the show. It's very, very important to get your point of view. You could do that through super stickers and donation. Anything over $5 we will address and we will answer, and it could be everything and anything, Coach.
That's right. If it's smaller, we'll throw it up on the screen. We just don't have time because you guys give us so many. Now, I will say this, that if it is $10 or more, Vince, they get an opportunity on Thursday to be on the Wheel of Doom.
Yes, sirree. Yes.
Now, our winner last week, Hitesh, who always is here, and I know our chat queen, Kimberly, is here. So if you see Hitesh in the comments, let him know. He needs to email us. Producer man, if you don't mind, Hitesh, you need to send us an email to this address so we can get you your Mamby-Pamby t-shirt. And all we ask is send us a picture. We want to throw it up on the show. That's all we want, Vince. We got to send you a Mamby-Pamby. You should have.
Yeah, man. I will sport that on this show. No problem, Coach. I'd love it.
All right, producer man, get Vince's size. It's on me. It's on me. I'll take care of it. We're going to take it out of his salary or anything. All right. So we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to start, Vince, because, and I want to be very clear that I do not enjoy criticizing talent. I know how hard it is to get in the ring and do this. But, Vince, you do a show called The Bro Down, and it is on Sportskeeda. They love you, and I can only imagine what your take was on this. I've heard several different things, but the bottom line is this. One of the worst appeared botches that I can remember in wrestling history last week in the triple threat with Jade, with Nia Jax, and with Tiffany Stratton, and a female referee that I do not know her name. I apologize. But, Vince, Jade had this huge cut over her eye, and reportedly Gorilla, and normally it's Bruce, I think, and then you have the agent sitting there. They told her stay down. That messed up the finish, but here she didn't stay down. Tiffany then kicks her. They cover. It's 1-2. Problem is Nia Jax didn't kick out. Then they both set up. They look at the ref like, what the hell? And it was a mess. It was a mess. What did you make of it?
Yeah, again, Coach, you're watching this and this is a train wreck. You know it when you see it. You knew there was a problem. You knew that wasn't the finish. But I will say this, Coach, and I've always said this. That referee's got to count to 3. No matter what the finish is, no matter what's discussed in the back. But now, Coach, you also told me this sheds a different light on things, because if they're screaming in her headset, that's not the finish, don't count, then I can understand her not counting. She doesn't want to lose her job. So that's the confusing part to me, because coming into this show, I'm thinking it's on the ref, because you got to count 3. Those shoulders are down, you got to count 3. But if somebody is screaming different directions to her through her headsets, that's not on her, Coach.
That's what has gotten back to me. So I texted a couple of my my go-tos, as I like to call them. I was like, what really happened? And reportedly, whoever is sitting at Gorilla, normally that's been Bruce in the past, said in her ear, go home, because of Jade's cut over her eye. So she tells them to go home. Well, then they said, no, have Tiffy hit her finish, which is the moonsault off the top. Well, here comes Tiffy, smacks Jade off, and then covers, and that's when the count happens. So if I'm the ref and I'm hearing go home, and they're hearing no, Tiffy, then you're going to stop the count, because you're assuming that you relate it to Tiffy. But here's the problem. 2 of those 3 girls are green as grass, and you're asking talent that's probably never been in that position before to adjust on the fly. What should have happened, Vince, and tell me if you think that I'm wrong, is they should have said, when Jade got that cut, stay down. Just tell her to stay down on the outside. Now it becomes a one-on-one. You take the camera guy around and you say, okay, shoot the cut. You shoot the cut. Michael Cole says, damn, she might not be able to continue, but this match has to. All of a sudden, you could throw a couple of punches, a drop kick, get her down, then hit the moonsault. It's all good. It seems like people got a little bit too excited in the moment, which led to that. Is that what should have happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, Coach, I don't know if that's the way it went down. I don't know why they had to have Tiffy hit her finish to get the 1-2-3. She had Nia Jax beat. At that
Yes.
point, she hit. What are you trying to establish her finish? Her finish is already established. So get the 1-2-3 there. And Coach, you're talking about the wrestlers themselves being green. You got a green referee in there. This isn't a Rudy Charles that has been refereeing for 22nd years, or Nick Patrick. I mean, this is a inexperienced referee. And Coach, I'm going to tell you, and I don't care how much heat I get for this. I really don't. When you watch, I'm going to go back to it again. When you watch the WWE Unreal and you see those sitting at the gorilla positions in the back, with the exception of a Bruce Pritchard, who's been sitting at gorilla for over 30 years, I'm looking at people that just don't belong, are in way over their head, do not know how to take charge in a situation like that. And, like I said, a lot of that is going to catch up with you in situations like this.
So the ref's name is Aja Smith. That's what she goes by on Instagram. She wrote this on her Instagram story afterwards. Quote, "I see all the love. I'm just human, but I can promise that I strive to always be better, which will forever be my goal as long as I'm on this journey. I love this just like y'all. That I can swear to you." If I read that, I'm thinking she's taking one on the chin for somebody else. That's what it sounds like to me.
Here's the bottom line, Coach. Let's see if she's refereeing on Friday night. That's the test, because if she is not refereeing Friday night, that means that the company is putting all the heat on her. So it's going to be interesting to see if she's refereeing on Friday night.
I think we need to, for next Monday, I'm going to put in a call to Jimmy Corderas. And he's a referee. I worked with for a long time. I've been on his show in Canada. He does a show with Brian Hebner. Brian Hebner was also a referee. His dad and his uncle are legendary. Remember how Earl Hebner used to count the two, like he would round the two?
Right.
So if he had to do a false finish, he could just keep it rounding
Yep.
and not the really hard.
Right.
And it made it easy. He was a classic false finish guy.
Yes.
Classic.
Yeah.
And maybe, and I don't know what their training is these days, Vince, but I think that this instance should probably make Triple H and Shawn Michaels say, we should probably sit everybody down, not just the NXT talent, but everybody, and go over what happens in this situation. What should we do? And then it may take a little extra time, but when you're going over a match that's a triple threat that's already hard to do anyway, go over plan B. Go over plan C. Because I guarantee you they didn't go over any of those plans after plan A failed.
Yeah, and again, Coach, we all know there's a lot of people in the WWE scared to death of their jobs. We know that.
Oh, my God.
So if we have a referee that's not at the top of the ladder in experience, she's going to listen to what they're telling her. And again, if they're calling an audible at the last minute, I am not going to do that with a green referee, and that's got to be brought into consideration.
All right, we have our first super sticker, and here on Mondays, we take them as they come. We don't have to wait till the end of a stupid nationally televised show. What is that all about? TJ says, hey, Vince, please bring back BFOCN. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I still do that show, TJ. I've never stopped doing that show. That's a bucket full of chicken necks. I still do that show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear I do that show every other week, every 2 weeks on russosbrand.com. That show hasn't gone anywhere.
How did you come up with that name?
Do you know what a bucket full of chicken necks is?
I have no clue. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
That used to be Yokozuna's favorite meal. A bucket full of chicken, and he used to dip the chicken necks in mayonnaise, Coach.
And that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's as disgusting as it comes, but he loved his bucket full of chicken necks, so I named the show after it.
And what's the content of the show, might I ask?
Whatever. There's no rules or regulations for that show at all.
Can you imagine walking in and watching that big boy over a bucket of chicken necks? And he's like, Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. Not too pleasing. Not too pleasing.
All right, we've got our second. I'm going to start counting. I think we had 18 names on the Wheel of Doom last week.
That's unbelievable. You guys are the best.
Absolute best. The support for us is growing, and we thank you. So we have 2 names already. So Gamer Guy, you'll be on the Wheel of Doom on Thursday. He says Drew McIntyre could save last Friday's botch by pointing out how incompetent the referee was and say that he should get a rematch to settle the score. It could save his booking if he wins the rematch. Was there a botch in Drew McIntyre's match? Or
I think he's talking about the main the women's match. I think that's what he's talking about. McIntyre didn't have a match on SmackDown, I don't think.
No. Gamer Guy, let us know what you're talking about there, because we're talking about the triple threat.
Can we say something about that too real quick, Coach? I know it's not on your agenda, but man,
yeah.
I don't even want to say I was furious. I was almost like, are you guys happy now? I love Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is a pro. This guy just has everything going for him. So, Coach, they put him out there on SmackDown again on Friday night, and I'm watching and I'm listening, and now they've got Drew McIntyre to the point of whining. So now you're watching Drew and you're like, okay, so now he's a whiner. Now he's coming across as a whiner. You can have whiners on your roster, Coach, not Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre would be whining about nothing if this were real. He'd be destroying people.
Every time. I don't know. When they're sitting in these rooms, I don't know what they see. I don't know what they think their top talent is, but Drew McIntyre is one of the top 3 talent in their company. And it's not close, but yet it's almost like they punish him for doing what he should be doing. Can you imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin speaking out like Drew McIntyre does and getting scolded by Vince? Can you imagine The Rock saying something like Drew McIntyre does and getting scolded out by Vince? Can you imagine saying the rest of the locker room, who I don't see at the gym, and we all use the same gyms on the road, so get in shape, stop posting on social media, stop worrying, and getting in trouble? Because that's what he's doing right now. He's getting in trouble somehow for all the stuff that should be said.
What do you and I always say, Coach? Real simple, guys. Look at Drew McIntyre. Look at Triple H. Look at Drew McIntyre. Look at Shawn Michaels. Look at Sami Zayn. Look at Triple H. Look at Sami Zayn. Look at Shawn Michaels. They are never going to let a guy like Drew McIntyre reach their potential in fear that his legacy is going to be bigger than theirs. There's nothing else to explain it, Coach, other than they are absolutely brain dead. If they are not doing this on purpose, then they're absolutely brain dead.
I could not agree more. When I look at Drew McIntyre, I see not only a superstar that should be pushed to the gills, should be on every show. And by the way, Vince, he would go to Raw and SmackDown if you ask him to every single week. He loves this business. I remember I worked with him at the end in 2018, and we used to have great talks. And this dude is like, listen, I washed out one time, and I went and got my ass. And this is part of the reason he feels this way, is because he wasn't always in the greatest shape. And he got released for whatever reason, 15 years ago. And then when they brought him back, he looked like a completely different wrestler because he's invested. And I want all these guys to be invested. I want all of them. If they want to make the millions of dollars, Vince, then you got to look like $1 million. But yet we're not allowed to talk about it because in your body shaming. When you're in wrestling, your body is part of it. That's just it.
But then, Coach, you got to look at the other side of the equation. If I am somebody in that locker room and I am looking at a Drew McIntyre and I'm saying, look at what they're doing to Drew. Look at how they're booking Drew. Is it going to matter if I spend 24? The United States champion is Sami Zayn, and Drew McIntyre is a whiner. So if I'm on that roster, I have to ask myself that question. Is it going to matter if I live in the gym? Nobody's going to be in better shape than Drew McIntyre.
Man, that's a great point. And unfortunately, in some ways, that's the way it's always been. Is they've instilled fear in the talent, and I get it. I've had it when I was at ESPN and different places that the job you have is so good and it's so niche that you're like, I don't want to lose this because where am I going to go? And that's how they've never had unions. That's why they won't do a revenue share. Right now, I came up with a solution the other day on my radio show, Sirius XM, channel 156, 2 to 4 Eastern daily. And I said they could turn this shit on their head. TKO, if they came out and said, we're coming back with house shows, it's going to be fan-friendly pricing, and we're going to include the talent in a revenue share deal. Why does it always have to be we sue our employers or we need to go after something we deserve that we have? TKO and UFC just got sued and had to pay out like $300 or $400 million to fighters that they owed money to. I don't know all the details, but that was the solution. So, Vince, if you're running a multi-billion-dollar company, if it was me and you and I were running it, I'd come to you and say, you know what? We make enough money. You and I are making 10, 20, $30 million a year. I can live on that. How about we take care of the talent? And do you know how fast the attitudes would change in a heartbeat if they did that? But they choose not to. And this is what you get.
Because, Coach, the mindset has always been the talent is replaceable, and we're gonna go back to Triple H's comment for the 50 millionth time. There is not going to be another John Cena. So that means there's going to be mediocre talent that can just replace one another, one right after the other, and that's exactly been the formula for at least the last decade.
But it's not the correct formula,
right?
Because they live in their bubble and they don't understand that on outside of this bubble, these guys aren't stars. Drew McIntyre was just in a very good movie. Did they promote that movie like they do Rock's or Cena's or any of the or Batista's? They don't. They absolutely don't. And I don't get it because they're not stupid people. Triple H is not stupid. He's not. Nobody there is stupid. But they deal with the TKO bosses that are just about the almighty dollar, and they don't care about all. Vince, when I hear somebody say that, it makes my blood boil that everybody's replaceable. Because I'd like to think I have talents, you have talents, everybody that's in the chat has talents, and I'd like to think that I'm not replaceable. But they say it, and it's usually the people on top that say it, and it drives me nuts. It really does.
The whole time I was there, Coach Vince always made it clear the talent is number one. Without the talent, there is nothing. We have no company. We have no pay-per-views. We have no fans. He would make that clear. The talent was always the top priority. I'm sorry. I look at the shows nowadays, and there's no way that still holds true.
Man. And I think that's why you had that picture that you had. And I think that all the dirt sheets, all the people, they're going to save that picture from Vegas 2 weeks ago when Triple H thanked Nick Khan and thanked the Saudi Arabia fans with his top talent standing behind him going, what the hell? What, are those Saudi fans going to go watch Nick Khan wrestle in Saudi Arabia at WrestleMania? They're not. You asked me to fly out here to Vegas, and I'm standing behind you to promote the company that I wrestle for, and you don't even thank me and thank me individually. That's what I would have done. It's gotten out of control. It really, really has. It's gotten out of control. You are watching the Coach and Bro Show. We're here twice a week, Mondays at 5 Eastern, Thursdays live on the Stadium Network, Amazon Prime, DirecTV at 11 a.m. Eastern time. All right, Vince, we've got our third member on the Wheel of Doom. Roland, roll it on the screen. I love saying that. He says that booking that coach described for that girls match is too complex for a Divas match. Looks like WWE is pushing Divas to work like Charlotte and Sasha Banks, but these girls are not on that level. Roland, you are correct. They are not. Remember what Charlotte said a few weeks ago? She said, they're making me work with amateurs.
Yeah.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
I always go back, Coach, and this is so hard for me to fathom. Listen, everybody, we all watched the NFL yesterday. We're all going into Major League Baseball, playoffs tomorrow. When we watch NFL, when we watch MLB, we know we're seeing the best players in the world. If they're not the best players in the world, they're not there. period. Why? Because it's all about winning. Winning equals dollars. So there aren't going to be any friends on the field. There aren't going to be people I like on the field. There's going to be the best. And Coach, I can't help it. Every time I watch the WWE product, I shake my head and I say, these are the best in the world. You mean to tell me in this entire world, these are the best wrestlers in the world? And the answer is no. Because, it's not about winning. It's about who's in favor with who and who's out of favor with who. And when you watch this show, you can see that.
It's also the one thing that we're doing in the PFL is creating PFLs around the world. It's a slow burn, but we just launched Africa, Australia, Europe, all these MENA. And what TKO is doing, and hopefully they take this to the talent side, is they're saying there's a lot of money to be made around the world. So we're going to go get it. Well, are there or are there not, Vince, human beings that live in Saudi Arabia, in Australia? Are there human beings that live there?
I would believe so, yes.
When was the last African star you saw in the WWE for shits and giggles? Was there an African star? No. And we have a lot of great fighters in the PFL from PFL Africa. When was the last Australian? Great story. They post these videos where they do these tryouts whenever they go over to do these shows, but yet I don't know if they follow up.
Yeah.
I don't know if they follow up because everybody outside of Gunther and who's the Americano?
Kaiser.
What the hell's his name? Kaiser. They're kind of the only two, and now you have Stephanie Vaquer, who's French, I think, and she's becoming popular, but they did a promo, and I don't know if you'd ever do this. Would you ever write a promo that was like half in another language and half in – that's what they did, right?
Coach, I never thought I would see the day, never, where you make it up to being a champion in the company, and it doesn't matter if you can cut a promo or not. Man, if in the past, if you could not cut a promo, they wouldn't even consider putting a title on you. You wouldn't even be on the conversation. Now they have titles on people in that company that literally can't string a sentence together. And again, this is getting more and more and more away from what professional wrestling is supposed to be.
And that sucks because we love doing this show and we love doing this stuff. And we have a 5 and 9 year runway that we can do the Coach and Bro show for the next 10 years. And that's awesome. But we'd love to talk about awesome wrestling during that time. And instead, do you know, Vince, I take calls every day on my radio show. Do you know when the last call I got, I started the show 1st of July. The last call I got said, man, that was awesome. Or, man, I don't mind spending $3,000 on a ticket. I don't mind. Do you know when the last time we got a call like that?
I can't imagine.
Still waiting for it. Now, next. Gamer Guy says, I was referring to how the referee stopped McIntyre from kicking Cody for no reason. He could see Friday's botch to make his point for a rematch. I got it, Gamer Guy. Okay. There's no question that in wrestling, if something messes up, this is what Vince used to do. He would use it to push a storyline down the road. I've seen them make referees who screwed up, Vince, admit that they were on somebody's side, that they were hooking somebody up, that they were, hey, so-and-so came to me, threatened me, so I would rather have that than just not address it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Coach, that would involve creativity. That would involve creativity, unfortunately.
You're a savage.
So you ain't never see anything that involves creativity, Coach. You ain't never seen.
Tox says, I'm starting to believe Vince's theory that Triple H is jealous of Drew.
I got to tell you another thing, too. Like, see, here's like, Coach, I was reading something about Drew over the weekend. I had never seen his wife before.
Okay.
Drop dead gorgeous. So
that doesn't shock me.
Well, see, so me, if I saw a picture of Drew and his gorgeous wife, the first thing I'm doing is I'm having a conversation with Drew.
Okay.
Drew, what would your wife think about? She would be on the show in a heartbeat. And that would add a different dimension to Drew. We can do an angle with her, whatever we want to do. As soon as I saw her, my first instinct was, why is this woman not on TV? They would be the power couple, and they would make the two power couples they have now look like Raggedy Ann and Andy. So you got to ask yourself the question, why are they the two power couples, and Drew McIntyre, who is married to a gorgeous model, is the whiny guy, and we never see his wife? What? How does that happen? How does that happen? You're going to tell me wrestler jealousy doesn't come into play? If you guys honestly believe that, you're not learning anything from the coach and I here.
All right, I know producer man's always on it, so in probably less than 2 minutes, we're gonna have a picture of her.
Oh,
up on the show.
please do, producer man. Please do, please. You talk about a guy that's got it all, Coach. Drew McIntyre's got it all.
I love the dude. I absolutely love it. There's nothing not to love about him.
Yeah,
he's a professional every sense of the word.
Yes,
and I would be so exasperated if I was somebody other than Cody. Or hell, I've heard rumors that even, they're messing with Roman right now out there when it comes to money as far as appearances are concerned.
Yeah.
And man, if you start to alienate your top talent, like the top guys who are like, hey, I'm not going to step up for the guy making $400,000 because I'm making $5 million. Well, now you're going to start having a problem all the way up and down the lineup. Producer man, whenever you find it, just throw it up. I don't care when it is. Now you just brought up topic number 3 on my list today. The two power couples that very quickly, and it's only been less than 2 weeks since WrestlePalooza, and your boy Kevin Nash. I love his podcast because he's a straight shooter, and he just says what needs to be said. And he's one of the biggest stars in the history of wrestling.
Look at that. Look at that. You would not put this couple on television. Like look at this couple. I mean, seriously, look at this couple.
I need some Advil.
So I'm saying, man,
I need some Advil.
That's, like I said, man, as a creative person, I see this picture, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, why is she not on the show? We're not doing anything with Drew. Obviously, we don't know what to do with Drew. Why don't we see if he wants to involve his wife and we can shoot some kind of an angle?
He would do it too. Absolutely. He would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Drew, tip of the cap.
Yeah,
for all of it.
Look at the way Drew's sporting that cap, huh? How about?
Are you kidding me? I'd walk around chest out, abs out. Yeah. She's with me. Coach,
you were doing that anyway. The only difference was you had ass out. Drew's got chest out. You had ass out, Coach.
You know that picture's a little bit sensitive for me. You know that, and you have to bring that up right now. A little sensitive, little too soon. It only happened. It's 18 years ago. All right, next super sticker, and I'm making an executive decision. If you give us a $20 super sticker, Vince, shouldn't they get 2 spots on the Wheel of Doom?
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow, double the chances. Yes.
All right, so we have 4 and 5 with B40. I'm 40. Mess with me. You remember that?
Yeah.
He just got fired last week.
Really?
From Oklahoma State. Yeah, that was one of the classics. Yeah. I'm 40. Make fun of me. Oh, one of the great promos. Sorry, Coach. This 20 is for Vince. About 2 years ago, I found an attic, a purple plastic case from Will the Thrill video with unreturned to game from 1990. So, Vince, consider this me paying my late fee.
Very nice.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow. Yes. And B40, just understand it's going to my account. All right. So you can say it's for Vince all you want, but it's going through me.
Brody, I was so bad even back in the day. Coach, if you had a video game or a movie and you didn't return it and you were late, I was knocking on your door at 11 o'clock at night and collecting my property, Coach. Yes.
No, you did not.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh my God. Vince,
Yes.
after my sophomore year of college, I worked at a restaurant. I was a waiter, and I was a great one. 8 years, high school and college, same
Wow.
restaurant. So I needed a summer off, so I went down and worked at this place called Poor John's. Poor John's is right on Main Street in McPherson, Kansas, where I grew up. And it was a place, imagine this, they sell new appliances, but then it's like a rent-a-center. Well, they rent, TVs for $9 a month and used, refrigerators and things like that. And let's just say, it's not the best clientele that are renting a TV to watch in their house for $8 a month. So you can imagine that the having to go get it crowd was hefty. So I get hired on the premise that he wanted me to be a salesman. I was 6'3" and black in a very, very white town. He wanted somebody knocking on the door.
Yes, you're the man.
Go get him.
Yes.
Vince, after like 3 or 4 visits, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Very nice.
Oh, my God. One time I just walked in, just grabbed the TV and just ripped it out and just walked out. And they're like, oh, my God, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I've never seen you before. Oh, it was amazing. Best story, though, is my basketball coach. We called him Coach Roger Trimmel. We called him the Trim Dog because our name was McPherson Bulldogs. And he was a slumlord. So to supplement his income, he had about 28 rentals. So imagine what this house was like, Vince. Me and 2 buddies that particular summer rented out one of his houses for $180 a month total.
Oh, my God.
$60 a person. It had a air conditioner kind of in the window, not really in the window.
Yeah.
We had to steal bunk beds from my college dorm where I was going to college at the time. And of course we put them back. And then the third guy slept on the couch. So we had poker games every week. And so we played a poker game one night. I kid you not. I won $480.
Wow.
Yes. A guy named Gary Teal. We had a lot of lifers in my hometown that just stayed there, did shift work, never did much with their lives, but comfortable. Gary Teal was this big dude, like 400 pounds, and loved to gamble and do all. He lost $480. So everybody else basically broke even. I walk into Poor John's that day. I go, hey, John, I said, how much for that brand new TV that's over there? He goes, well, the cost is $440. Now, remember, this is the 90s.
Yeah.
And I said, and I slapped down the cash I just won, and I go to carry the TV out. Remember, it's right on Main Street. Who do you think is driving by right as I carry this brand new Zenith television out to my car?
The dude who lost the money.
The dude who lost the money. Oh, Vince, I'm carrying it, and Teal, and he had these big old hands, these big old fat fingers, and I go, hey, Teal, thanks! And he put up the biggest middle finger you've ever seen in your life. I remember it like it was yesterday. Oh, my
awesome.
God.
That
Oh,
is
it was
awesome.
great. Oh, it was great. I don't even know how we got there, but that was fun. It was fun going down story time. All right, so B40 said that was for Vince. Our next one, Matt, says, every time I see Io Sky in the ring, I feel like Morris Day. I'm in Jungle Love. Oh, Io. Watched Unreal. What is P. Hayes' major malfunction? Why is he there? We could do a whole show, guys, on Michael P.S. Hayes. Should we?
Oh, hold
Should
on.
we?
Listen, you and Matt, you're not going to sit there and question why the great Michael P.S. Hayes is there when Michael clearly told us on episode 5 of Unreal that the Lord God Almighty himself is giving Michael Hayes creative. When God is giving you creative directly, Coach, you better be working for the WWE, Coach.
I'm embarrassed because you have told me 3 or 4 times, Coach, have you watched episode 5 yet? I go, nope, haven't had time yet. I think I'm avoiding the Michael P.S. Hayes.
Coach, Coach, I put out a tweet right after Friday's show. I put out a tweet saying, Michael Hayes needs to immediately privately apologize to God for saying that God is giving him the creative for this god-awful show. Say you're sorry, Michael Hayes. How dare you?
Oh, do you want to hear my? I have a lot of Michael Hayes stories. Do you want to hear my best one?
Let's hear it.
The best. So for people who don't know, Michael Hayes is the owner, at least in his own mind, of being the first superstar ever to have walkout music. They would walk down and he'd do his hands like this. You remember all of that? And he was the epitome of thinking he matched head to toe, and it would be different shades of the same color, and he'd be like, oh, and he'd have like the matching, what do they call when the wrestlers wear that thing around their belts?
Oh, the fanny pack.
Oh, the fanny pack. Yeah, the fanny packs. So he'd have like like a tan fanny pack and kind of an off tan hat and then a white shirt. Thought it all matched. He was a fashion disaster. A disaster. This isn't even part of the story, but this just gives you guys an idea at home of this man. He got an invite to Stephanie and Triple H's wedding, and an invite that none of us wanted to get. Like, we were literally waiting. Like, please don't invite me.
Yes, I can totally get it. Totally.
We were all sitting around in a room. There's like 20 of us going, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? No. Oh, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Michael Hayes did get it. And at the wedding, and again, I wasn't there. I got this from an eyewitness. We used to call Stephanie the $1 billion princess, but not to her face.
Right.
Right. And I would love it if somebody called me the $1 billion prince. I'd be good with that. Her, not so much.
Yeah.
But apparently Michael got a little tipsy.
No.
And
Michael? Tipsy? No. Are we talking about the same person? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And he proceeded to. All these stories are in my head now. No, you're making me laugh. He proceeded to grab the microphone and in front of God and everybody said, there's a reason we call her the $1 billion princess. And Linda McMahon very quietly walked over, grabbed the microphone, escorted him to his seat, and we were sure that would be the time that he would get fired. Yeah. But he lasted. So,
go ahead.
But then, Vince,
go ahead.
The WWE Flight from Hell happened.
Yes.
And if anybody's ever seen it on A&E, it's about 95% false because I was in the middle of it. This forehead right here, Vince, this one, you can almost still see it. That's from Brock Lesnar's elbow, okay? Brock Lesnar elbowed me as he was reaching back to punch Mr. Perfect and the legendary fight where they launched themselves against the door and we thought we were going to die at 37,000 feet. That happened. It was real. Because Mr. Perfect said to Brock Lesnar, he goes, hey, listen. And you know Mr. Perfect, he loved to mess with people.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect says to Brock Lesnar, a young, buff Brock Lesnar, hey, listen, man, not only are you not the greatest athlete from
Minnesota.
I just messed the whole thing up. He goes, but you're not even the greatest athlete from Minnesota.
Right.
And, well, Brock took that personal. Brock was like, I'm not having that. Boom, reaches back, and they start going. So imagine you're on a plane where they're going, and they launch themselves against the door, and that's when the guys are like, oh, hell with this. Taker grabs one, JBL grabs the other. I'm over here. My hematoma is coming out of my head like I've got a third eye. I'm like, damn, that hurts. So when you watch the show on A&E, the first thing you hear is, I don't know why Vince would allow that when he was on the plane. JR is one of the 4 people they talked to. I'm like, how does JR not remember? Vince was never on the plane. Vince never flied with talent, ever. So the Michael Hayes part of this is we had about 5 hours on the ground to drink and do whatever else before we took off for different reasons. Michael Hayes got so drunk, Vince, that he passed out in one of the back rows of the plane. He was so blacked out that X-Pac got a thing of scissors from the trainer, and Michael had not cut his hair in maybe his entire adult life until that plane ride. And X-Pac cut it off, We wake up, we're in Hartford, 73 people in lines at customs with one customs agent. So we're all in one long line. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and Michael Hayes is sitting there just drunk as hell. And all of a sudden he goes, and he goes, "What the F? What the F?" He goes, "Who did this? We're going right now." And he drops his bag off his shoulder and he's squaring up.
He's going.
Against nobody.
He's going.
Yeah, he's like, "We're going. Who did it? Who did it?" He won't stop, Vince. He will not stop. And we're all like, "Oh my God." Because like you've been drinking all night, you've been on a plane, you haven't ate. And I refuse to sleep. I was like, if I fall asleep, then we're going to cut my hair. But they were going to do something.
Yeah.
Right? So we're up all night. None of us were in the mood for it. All of a sudden, the legend that is Jerry Briscoe, who's an all-timer, a real wrestler, somebody that would stretch him 10,000 ways to Sunday.
Did he stake claim to it?
He did.
No.
He did. He did. He goes, "Michael, I did it." He goes, "What do you want to do?" Vince, I've never seen somebody do that so quickly in my life. It became a business decision for Michael Hayes. And I think he made the right decision because this is Gerald Briscoe from the 90s.
Yeah.
And Gerald Briscoe from the 90s is one of the toughest dudes of all time.
Now I got to tell you a Briscoe story and a Michael Hayes story.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's my first Briscoe story. Guys, well, it was usually during the dark match, so you wouldn't have been able to see it. But Coach, every single time when it's the show was over, and 99% of the time we'd feed the locker room for Austin to give a stun or two.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was the greatest.
Would just go one after the other. But bro, every single time we'd send Briscoe down. Austin would hit him to the stunner. Then Austin would go to the outside and get on him. And, bro, Briscoe would start stretching Austin.
You're kidding. He'd stretch Austin?
And you see the look. And, like, Austin's half laughing, half crying. But every time, the show was over, he would grab Austin in a hole just to remind Austin who he was. And, Coach, for this reason alone, you need to see episode 5 of Unreal.
Okay.
I watched all 5 episodes, and this was the greatest moment of all 5 episodes. So, Coach, they do the 3-way. I think it was Seth, Reigns, and it was when CM Punk. Okay, I think it was the first night of WrestleMania, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Bro, I swear to God, this freaking company, like it was WrestleMania, and every time somebody comes to the back, there's standing ovations and there's hugging. I'm like, can you people get over yourselves, please? But anyway, so the main event finishes, and they go back to the gorilla position, and Becky's there. And Becky's all excited because, it was a great finish, and she's excited for her husband. So Michael's sitting down in the chair. So Becky goes to hug Hayes, and bro, we can call it an accident or we can call it a rib. She goes to hug Michael Hayes. Whoop! Knocks the hat off, bro. He's there with the white and the black and the Bad Street USA. She knocks the hat off. Now we got Larry Fine. Now we got Larry Fine sitting there, so embarrassing. And Coach, here's the bottom line. Let's be honest. Guys, that could have easily been edited out. Did they edit it out?
Rib.
And Coach, it is so, it's like Dr. Brown. It was like Dr. Brown from Back to the Future. Just
nothing on top?
Nothing on top. That was my favorite moment of all 5 episodes, Coach.
There's no question. Now, if Vince was still there, there's 1,000% I know it's a rib.
Yeah.
Because he would have watched everything and be like, yeah, leave that in.
Yeah.
We definitely want, because the people who shot that don't work for WWE.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, you had told me that. You told me that.
So I just worked with one of the guys who worked on the show, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we work in Philadelphia." So they had no clue.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd have been the greatest. I love ribs like that.
It's so good.
I love ribs like that.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a little history with X-Pac doing that, because do you know, like, X-Pac's first week in the business, he's on a plane, Coach. He fell asleep and he woke up with no eyebrows. Now, they shaved his eyebrows while he was sleeping. I think that was Michael Hayes.
That was a receipt? So that was a receipt?
Yes, I believe it was Michael Hayes that shaved his eyebrows while he was sleeping, and that would have been 25 years earlier.
Oh, my God. Look who we unveil here on this show.
Yeah.
And for all you dirt sheets that quote us, get the stories right.
Yes.
Don't give like half the story and say, no.
Well, actually, what year was the hell plane ride?
2002, 2001, something like that.
This is when X-Pac was just in, maybe 94, 95-ish. So it's 8 years later. Yeah.
Oh, wrestlers never forget.
No,
they
never,
ever forget.
Never.
All right, D says, have you guys heard anything about Bianca returning lately? I think she's the last opponent, Tiffany, I can think of. I think she has a hangnail, so they're holding her out, Vince, something like that. She can still fly to Vegas and look miserable behind Triple H. I love Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
I think she is fantastic. I think she's everything that a company should build their company around. She's diverse. She looks amazing. She makes her own outfits, everything. And you don't use her?
Yeah. And
she main evented WrestleMania.
And not only that, I love the real Bianca Belair. This is such an intelligent, well-spoken woman. And then what do? They stereotype her when they put her out there. I love you. You guys should look for her, out of character. What a smart, intelligent, impressive individual, man. Blows me away.
No doubt about it. And she's married to one of the Street Profits.
Yeah.
It's another talent.
Montez Ford,
who I love him too. I love him too. B40 says Michael Hayes dancing was more cringe. Hold on. Producer. Oh my God. Oh, all right. Producer man, what you just sent to me, we'll put up here in a second. Michael Hayes dancing was more cringe than Billy Squier in his career ending tonight video. Did he dance on Unreal?
I don't remember that. I don't remember. He might have. I don't remember.
Oh, well, that's, you could have video of Michael Hayes dancing pretty much anytime. When he's walking down the hallway, I can't tell this story because it's very somewhat racist, and I can't tell it. I'm sorry.
Coach, you can't do that on the Coach and Bro show. You can't say, I'm going to tell a story and then pull back on us, Coach. Come on, Coach.
All right. I'm going to regret this. But I'm going to tell it anyway. All right. I'm going to tell it. All right. So years ago, Brian Gerwitz. Brian is the right hand of The Rock. For people who don't know, he was a lead writer on Raw. Really good dude. I sublet my very first apartment from Brian Gerwitz in Stanford. So good dude. He had friends who worked in Hollywood that were writers. His best friend wrote for the show According to Jim, which was a big AB show back in the day. So they had the same birthday. So we were going to LA for a show, and he's like, hey, we're going to have a combo birthday party. Would love for all you guys to come. So we all come, including Michael Hayes and his wife. And so the man who played Urkel in Family Matters, Jaleel White is his name.
Yeah.
Love the guy. We became friends. We hung out a lot over the course of time. And he, after Family Matters, was typecast in a lot of things. So he became a writer, and he was writing for Disney. So he's at this party. So he's like, man, I would love to meet part of the creative team to see how they write for wrestling. I would have loved for you to have been there, because you definitely would not have said what Michael Hayes said to him. But he's like, I would love to see how they go about it. I go, oh, well, we have one of our writers right over here. So I grabbed Michael. I failed to think that we're 3 or 4 hours in to this particular party and shouldn't have done that. So I bring Michael over. I go, hey, Michael, I want you to meet Jaleel. And he goes, oh, aren't you that? He goes, yeah. He's one of the most famous characters of all time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Time, right? Absolutely. So I said, hey, Michael, Jaleel's interested in writing, and he writes for Disney, and he just loved to bounce things off of you. And he goes, okay. So Jaleel asked him a question. He was so polite. Oh my God. And just everything about him I loved. And Michael goes, well, Jaleel, or he goes, well, Urkel. And he proceeds to talk. And then he asks him, he goes, well, Urkel. And he calls him Urkel like 4 or 5 times. And I finally turned to him and I said, Michael, his name is not Urkel. His name is Jaleel White. And he looks at me and he says, Coach, what does no, I can't even I that's as far as I'll go. I can't say
hold on,
Coach,
before you give me the punchline, I gotta get my sad trombone ready. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I can't. I can't.
Coach,
it's so bad.
We're right there, Coach. You can't bring us to the climax and then pull back. What is it, Coach? Go ahead.
He says, isn't he just one of your black friends anyway? And I said, Michael, what does that have to do with anything? Anything. And by the end of the night, he may or may not have had to be put into a car to be taken back to the hotel.
I always say this. I know, especially with Bruce, it's got to be the same with Michael Hayes. Bro, these guys have to know where the bodies are buried. I'm sorry. They have to know where the bodies are buried to still be employed there. They have to.
When you hear the term biggest upset in history, that's Michael Hayes. The fact that he's still there in 2025 is unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, but again, God is directly giving him the WWE creative, so he's got that going for him.
Bob M says Cody, Punk, Sammy, Fatu, KO, Gunther are dad bods in main events. Meanwhile, main event bods, Drew, Lashley, LA, Theory, Orton, mid-carders. Please explain. Bob, you're spot on. We can't explain that.
Yep.
How do you explain that, Vince?
You can't. You can't explain it.
It really is. And this is one thing that people need to understand about professional wrestling, that when Vince ran it, and this is a lot of wrestling promoters, is you're never going to walk in and tell somebody, well, you need to lose 5% body fat. Vince, there was about a 2-year window where we got weighed. And we had our body type, and then they had a range that we had to be in. And if we weren't in there, then we had to get there. And do you remember when WWE did that show where they turned everything into a cartoon? Like the stories from the road, that type of thing?
Yeah, I do.
So 2 of my stories made it up, and I'd already left the company. And this was one of those stories, is that Vince wanted to weigh everybody. So when they launched WWF New York, which was our restaurant in New York City, they would send a talent there on Monday nights to do a live shot with the fans behind them. Well, that particular week, Big Show was the talent in New York. So I get called in. They're like, Undertaker needs to see you. And I go, okay. So Undertaker he was the godfather. He ran everything. So he's like, hey, I want to run a pool on Big Show's weight. And he's going to get weighed tomorrow at SmackDown. So, Coach, go around, see who wants to put $10 in, and they can guess the weight. And so this has actually been made. So I'm not even talking out of school here. So I go around, Vince, 63 people. I'll never forget the number.
Wow.
$630. And they all had a guess. And I remember Jeff Hardy guessed like 1,280 pounds. Like, it was so stupid. It was so dumb, right? But so Big Show shows up to the building the next day. And the room where the weigh-in thing was, all of a sudden there's like 30 people hanging out. And Big Show walks up. He's like, what the hell are all these people doing here? Yeah. I was like, I have a clipboard. I got a pencil in my ear. And I'm like, I have no idea. Big Show, why they're all here. And I'm just ready to take down the number. I kid you not, Vince. I kid you not. 483 pounds.
No way. Oh, my God.
So, Vince, if you can think of a superstar from that era that you would not want to win that pool, to never hear the end of it, what's the one name that you would come up with?
I don't know who.
I got 3 letters for you. J.
Oh, jeez.
B.
Okay.
L.
Yeah.
So JBL wins. And of course, he's got a trumpet out. He's just trumpeting from the mountaintops. I got all this cash. Well, he did a solid. The next week, we were in St. Louis, and there's a country bar there called In Cahoots. And In Cahoots on Friday nights have dollar anythings. So it was a pay-per-view. We all go in early. He walks up to the bar on my kids, has the $630 in cash, hadn't touched it, goes up to the bartender, slaps it on the bar and says, until it's done.
Oh, wow. That's
Vince,
crazy.
that would have been 630 drinks.
Yeah.
It would have taken us 3 weeks to drink that.
Well, unless Michael Hayes was there.
Then 3 hours. I get it. Oh, we had a blast, but JBL did a solid. But man, oh man. And
Bro,
then
what was that weight again?
483 pounds.
Guys, you want to hear something hysterical? I swear to God, 483 pounds, Coach is talking about. So I'm watching SmackDown Friday night. They have Sami Zayn wrestling some jabroni from NXT that I never heard
Javon
of.
Javon Evans.
Yes. So Sami gets his entrance. They announce Sami's weight. What did wait a minute.
If they said 218 pounds, I'm going to lose my mind.
What did Big Show weigh? 483. Bro, 215 pounds. And I swear to God, guys, I remember this because I'm like, can we not lie about his weight? Can we not add another 20 pounds? So, bro, Big Show is more than 2 Sami Zayns.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right,
He beat 2 and about 30%.
Okay, that tells you everything you need to know right there. There you
It's
go.
all perception, ladies and gentlemen. The wrestling business, if you're going to be a heavyweight champion,
yes,
you got to kind of be heavyweight. And that's 250 or above.
Yes.
250 or above.
Yeah.
Remember, Hulkster was always just over 300 pounds.
Always
Always over 300 pounds. Always. God, I love going down memory lane.
Yeah,
I really do.
crazy.
And all these stories like 20 years ago, they've all been told, but maybe not here. I don't know. All right. We've got the next member, Vince, on the Wheel of Doom. Varsity VA says, can't wait to receive the Mamby-Pamby shirt. Also, did you hear Disco and Conan ripping the ESPN writer for his C rating? Well, clearly Disco and Conan did zero homework. Because I saw a lot of people saying, Vince, how could ESPN rip their own show? And I'm like, this is why you watch us. This is how uneducated you are as a viewer and as a wrestling fan. If you say anything like what I'm sure they said and what other fans have said, Vince, they're like, why would ESPN rip on their own show? That's why wrestling fans don't understand real websites. They're used to dirt sheets. They're used to links to stuff that's not even real. So you can then get clicks and get paid for it. ESPN.com, Vince, every single sport that they have, every one, they have writers that work for them that write recaps of the games, of the shows, whatever. This was just a guy that does that. I had him on my radio show, and he's like, it was an average show. Am I supposed to lie about it? And say it wasn't just because I work for ESPN?
Well, that's what I try to say every week when I watch these shows. I'm watching these shows as a casual television viewer. I'm not watching these shows as a wrestling mark that's going to put everything over. I'm watching this as a television show. Is this a good television show or is this a bad television show? It's that simple, Coach.
That's it. We don't benefit from patting them on the back or criticizing them. We don't get paid by the click. We don't get paid by the headline. And man, the more I do this, the more it doesn't really bother me, but it's still frustrating that there's people, Vince, out there, and you guys know the usual suspects that continue. I can't even, Vince, can you imagine doing shows relying on clicks?
No,
instead of content?
God, no.
Oh, it'd be insane. B40's clarifying. He says riffraff from rock horror. LOL. Okay. All right. So B40 sent this in. Apparently, this is what in the chat they believe Michael Hayes looks like. Producer man, if you don't mind,
Close, very close. Yes,
That's
good.
very close.
Yeah.
That's very, very close. Oh, the chat is undefeated.
Very nice.
The chat is undefeated.
Oh,
All
God.
right, take it down. All I see is Michael Bolton right now. Reese Bond says, do you think Michael Hayes is starting to think God doesn't like wrestling?
No, God, are you kidding me?
No.
He probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're driving down the road saying, we just signed another $1 billion deal. Really? Yeah. Did you get a raise? No, neither did I. All right. The Young Reckless says, Russo, you told Vince he didn't get the product. Triple H has yes men around him that tell him it's good because they don't want to get on his bad side / position. That's very believable.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very, very believable. Oh, wait a second. We'll get back to this in a second. Producer man has outdone himself. Producer man, if you don't mind. He's getting it loaded.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Yes. Oh, it's worth the wait. It's
Does
worth the wait.
Does he have a shot of it?
It's worth the wait. Yes. Yes. I don't want to move on until we put it up on.
Let's see it. Wow.
Because we have the best producer in the business.
Now I'm with bated
Bar
breath.
none. Oh yes. Oh yes. It just takes a little while to load up.
Let me give while we're waiting. I'm gonna give a. If people need to be motivated today, let's get them motivated. Here we go.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever.
Forever. Forever.
I love the con.
Oh, here it
There
is.
it is! I told you. You see? There it is.
No.
There it is, bro. Right there.
It does look like the dude from Back to the
Oh
Future.
my God! Look at that.
Oh, well, and here's the other thing. That talent talent has always liked to rib Michael Hayes.
Coach, can I ask you a serious question? Leave that on there, producer man. I'm going to ask you a serious question and everybody in the chat room. I am being dead serious now.
Okay.
And Coach, you shave your head. Coach, at what point do we shave the head? Like what is Michael Hayes's point for that?
I've advised a lot of people that have follicle issues, and I shaved mine so that I would have what I call the coach look. I was once voted best goatee in the game by People Magazine.
Absolutely.
But you don't, when you start to have, I don't know if you can see it, but you know when the hairline starts to get all the way back here? Like I don't want a 5 head. You know, I never wanted a 5 head. So I started shaving mine when I was 2002. So I was in my mid-20s, early 20s, and you start shaving it off when it stops growing on top. And clearly he has not had any, and I used to talk to sportscasters who would leave it like this. I'd be like, do you realize you go from 37 to 57 when you do this?
I don't know. Listen, I'm not taking a shot at Michael. I seriously,
it's an issue.
I don't know why you would do that. I just don't know.
Well, some people don't have good bald heads. Not everybody, Vince, can be like.
Oh no, absolutely.
They can't be like me. So, and some white dudes don't like to be bald because they may have like lumps in their head.
Yeah,
I've seen the whole thing.
Hey, producer man, can you do me a favor, please? Because you are Johnny on the spot. Can you please go to my Twitter page at the Vince Russo? And please pull up the picture that I posted today because I think Coach will get it. We'll get a big kick out of it. Please, producer man, at the Vince Russo. You will see my post.
All right, so while he's chasing that down, I want to address the last super sticker that we got. That yes men in the business are always an issue. And in the wrestling business, Vince especially, because we always go back to where are they going to go? If you're making 6 figures, whether it's 100,000 or 500,000, that's a lot of money to you. That's how you take care of yourself. And Vince, I've seen grown men cry when they got dropped by the WWE because they knew immediately there's nowhere for me to go and stay in this business, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
It's tough. And that's when I give somebody grace. because if you get to be 50, 60 years old and you've been in this business for 30 or 35 years, then I give you grace because you can't start over at 60. It's just too hard. Who's going to hire you to start over at 60?
Coach, do you know when Stephanie became in power at the WWE, and because, her and Triple H do not want to be challenged by anybody, Bruce Pritchard got fired. Okay? Bruce, who was there forever, got fired because Stephanie and Triple H were now creative. So Bruce was really, really down on his luck. His wife had cancer. He had twin kids. And I know now, bro, wrestling's everything to Bruce. He ain't going to be able to get a job back in the business. Like I knew it. Like exactly what you're talking about, right? So, Coach, I was working for TNA at the time, and I was like, I got to try to help out Bruce, knowing, Coach, damn well what he was going to do. Knowing damn well what he was going to do. So I got Dixie Carter to create a position for Bruce where he would help me out with pre-tapes and vignettes and stuff like that, right? Coach, you know the deal. Every time we go to TV now and I look to my right and I look to my left, he's having a sidebar with Dixie Carter. Exactly what I knew was going to happen. Coach, he wasn't at TNA for 2 weeks and I get called into Dixie's office with him sitting there. Bruce Pritchard is now my boss. Okay. And he, bro, I swear.
What? I've never heard this.
Oh yeah. I knew damn well that was going to happen. Cause I know Bruce, I know how he works, but I knew I got to help the guy out. I got to.
At his core, he's a good guy.
And I still have no problem with it, but I just want everybody to know that's how it works, man. That's
his business.
That's just how it works. Yeah.
It is. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. Johnny Karate. What's up, Johnny? Says wrestling fan since the 80s and stopped in 2005. I tried again in 2017. I've been intermittent viewing at best. I quit 2 weeks ago. It's that bad now. Vince, I would love to, and this will never happen, but I've come up with 3 or 4 or 5 reasons or ways that they could flip this thing right around. And until they pay down their debt or sell, there is never going to be Johnny Karate coming back to wrestling.
Never. No
and that
way.
Sucks. But if there's one of him, Vince, there's a million of him.
Absolutely.
They're not looking at that, Vince.
Yeah.
They're looking at, we're still, our profit margin is still here. That's what Mark Shapiro says in all of his interviews. But our profit margin, our yield, wrestling fans don't know what a yield is. They don't give a damn about a profit margin. They care about taking their kid. They care about making a memory. They care about all of that. I've never met a wrestling fan, Vince, and said, hey, Coach, what's the yield on this stock price about now?
And, Coach, my whole motivation was get as many people to watch as possible, man. That's where you started, right? That's it, man. The more people watching, the more money everybody's going to make. That was it.
So we have a couple of conspiracy theories here at the show.
Hold on. They love when I play my thing, Coach. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, I got to put my glasses on, Coach. I can't see now without my glasses.
It's all right. It happens to me too.
Here we go.
But I have a couple of numbers for you, Vince, that I think are going to lead more to our conspiracy theories. We believe that whether it was a done deal or whether it's a long, extravagant deal, that eventually, with carrying $6 billion approximately in debt, that the entire thought process was to eventually sell to Saudi Arabia. Right? We agree on that. We brought that up.
Yes.
And we believe that Triple H, his time under TKO, could be numbered. Vince, I don't know if you saw this, but EA Sports, who I worked for 8 years as one of the voices in Madden, the video game. All right. One of the great gigs. Didn't make a ton of money, made some. But
still iconic, cool. iconic gig.
It's iconic. I loved it. Man. I loved it. They took me out this year. They took me out of the game because they wanted to make it more realistic. And I said, So they put in Scott Hansen, who does NFL Red Zone, because to do a real halftime show from the studios. I said, wait a second. So you're going to go to the NFL Network studios that look amazing, as opposed to me recording in the corner of my bedroom up here in my clothes. I don't get it.
How dare they? Yes.
How dare they? So they just sold, Vince, for $55 billion. Billion. These stockholders, the stock price is like at 165. In this deal, it's so much money that every one stock was paid out at $210, $215. So if you own EA Sports, you're going to make $40 per share. That's gigantic.
That's huge, man.
Because they're taking it from a public company to a private company. So you got to pay out you got to have a vote and the whole deal. And of course, all those stockholders are like, yes, sell.
Yeah.
Not only that, Vince, but Tom Brady, I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah, I did.
During Riyadh season, he and Saquon Barkley, a couple of coaches, a couple of other players are going to go play flag football. Have you heard how much Tom Brady's going to be paid to play? I believe it's one game, but it's going to be one day, I believe. It could be multiple games in one day. For one trip to Saudi Arabia, probably in a private jet, how much do you think Tom's going to put in his back pocket?
Oh, my God. With Saudi, you never freaking know. God, $10 million?
He wouldn't have picked up the phone for that, Vince. $10 million?
How much?
That's for the first 10 minutes of an hour game. $75 million.
Unbelievable, Coach. Unreal.
$75 million. A third number. I'm good friends with Gabriel Iglesias, gigantic WWE fan. Fluffy. I was at his birthday party 6 weeks ago. Great dude. Love him to death. He's part of like 20 comedians. They're doing this gigantic comedy show during Riyadh season and bringing all these comedians over to do a stand-up gig. And I guarantee you they're all making at least 7 figures for one 20-minute set or one 30-minute set. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, watching this show right now, Saudi Arabia wants to be the hub for all things sports, all things, and people that are getting approached are getting offers that are so big, Vince, they can't possibly turn them down.
You can't. Yeah.
So if you're paying $55 billion for a video game company, how much do you think they'd pay for the WWE?
Yeah. And that also, again, play into that equation. Vince opening up that new company that's supposed to, help make deals between companies. And that's why we say what we say. Yes.
No doubt.
Hey, Coach, I got to say this real quick because you never talked about Kevin Nash.
Oh, my God. We got off our tangent. All right, let's hit these real quick, and then we'll close with Kevin Nash because it's important. It's very important. Aquarium says, Vince, can you imagine Taka Michinoku losing to Sami Zayn? Because I can't. All right. So we talk about all right. Describe the picture from your X page, and then it's loaded. It's ready to go.
We know. We talked about Michael Hayes, and probably he should shave his head. Okay, yes. But also, Coach, there's this crazy thing with dirt sheet writers. Okay, yes. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm very familiar with them because of a little show by the name of Castrating the Marks. Okay.
Correct.
As these guys get older and older and older, Coach, like you and I, okay, they feel they have to dye their hair.
Correct.
I
don't understand it.
Meanwhile, they don't realize everybody knows they're dyeing their hair. And if you're dyeing your hair, you're trying to fool people that you're younger. And if you're trying to fool people, you're being dishonest. And if you're being dishonest, how are we supposed to believe your dirt sheet? Correct?
I love where you're going. I like where you're going. Yeah.
So many people now doing dirt sheets are dyeing their hair that I decided, Vince, get in the hair dyeing business. Make a couple of bucks for yourself. Put it in your back pocket. There you have it, Coach. Me giving Dave Meltzer People said we couldn't get along. Me giving Dave Meltzer his latest dye job. Right there, Coach. See?
Should I turn so I can be like his partner on the radio show, talking like this? So then, I don't know.
Are you talking about Monkey Boy?
I don't even know his name.
Okay, that's another story. But yeah, Coach, that's my side hustle. If you guys have a dirt sheet and you want people to believe you're younger,
oh my God,
work with me.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I said that Michael Hayes was potentially the biggest upset. The biggest upset is the fact that even one person still pays $15 a month for a wrestling newsletter. Literally, do you think they still churn it out with one of those machines?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's so crazy because him and his little partner, they used to go, Coach is the worst. I go, it was so bad my first 11 years, and Coach is the worst at ESPN. Yeah, that 10 years sucked. Coach is PGA Tour sucked. Yeah, what do you PFL sucked. Just the worst. Just the worst. But I'll stand there with a great background and a bad microphone without a flag on it in order to do my show. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We just gave them more pub than they deserve.
Yes,
all right.
we did. Yes.
The last topic today that we started 40 minutes ago. By the way, that's why I love this show. Kevin Nash, and he was talking about AJ Lee, and it was such a momentum building month for them. CM Punk clearly talked the company into bringing back AJ Lee. The rumor was that it was going to be a multi-year deal. And just like with Karrion Kross, Vince, I think wrestling fans are seeing that if you're not on TV, it's quickly out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely.
So Kevin Nash was talking about how people make their return. He's like, I don't understand for the life of me how the storyline is this. You're coming back because Becky slapped your husband. Put her hands on your husband. Why in the world then would you skip down to the ring, around the ring, and then get in and commence the physicality? He said if you want to do the skipping thing, you do it a week or two later. But you're coming in because you're pissed. You come in, you make a beeline, you don't even look at your husband, and you're just going because that's what a wife or girlfriend would do if another wife or girlfriend slapped him like that a bunch of times. Kevin Nash is spot on, and I wanted to get your take.
Well, Coach, I had said the same thing pretty much. I got to tell you guys something. This is why I love Kevin. This is why. Bro, make no bones about it. Kevin and Triple H are boys. They're boys. So when Kevin is making a statement like this, he knows it's going to get back to Triple H, and who's responsible for that? Triple H. That's what I love about Kevin. And here's the problem. I said the same exact thing, Coach. And on top of that, one thing that I really said is we had not seen this character in 10 years.
Correct.
So you mean to tell me this character has frozen in time that comes back 10 years later the exact same way? That's the difference, man, between wrestlers writing and writers writing. If a writer is writing that, we are going to see the evolvement of AJ Lee. We have not seen her for 10 years. She's not going to come back the same person, skipping and wearing the same ring attire. There's going to be some, evolvement there. We saw none of that, and it was absolutely ridiculous.
He went on to say that a lot of her message, which is positive, I'm sure that it means a lot to her, and mental health is a major, major, major point now in American culture. He said her bringing it up and leaning into what her crazy character used to be after she's had all of this therapy that she talks about doesn't make a lot of sense. On top of that, Vince, now you're going to push two female characters, including Bayley now, who have kind of this craziness going on in their heads, and they're listening to voices, and how are you going to make that? And he says, why would you do that? If you know you're going there with Bayley, why would you allow AJ Lee to bring up all of that stuff from her past, as that was her character back then?
Well, not only that, Coach, we talk about the basics of basics. Wrestlers' names sounding the same. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And I had a crack up, Coach, because I don't know if you caught this the other day, but I caught a little snippet. They are now changing Braun Breaker's name to just Braun. And I'm like, you guys mean to tell me it took you over 5 years to realize the name Braun Breaker sucked? It took you 5 years. So now it's just Braun, Coach.
Yeah,
Braun.
but they refer to them as Braun. So if you don't want them referred to as the same name, why would you keep it at Braun?
I don't know. Same thing with the other two, Velcro and Velkier and
Stephanie Vecchio. I realized today I've been saying her name incorrectly. From somebody on social media said their name. I was like, I don't say it like that. And it's Stephanie Vecchio. I think it's Vecchio. Oh, Scott Stanford. He was doing Busted Open. They cut like a reel, and they're talking about. I was like, Scott Stanford's way more of a pro than I ever thought about being.
Yeah.
And I think he just left WWE. He's a good dude, great radio guy. I'm like, he's saying it right. I'm saying it wrong. But you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You have Stephanie Vecchio, and then Lyra Valkyrie.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Why? Why would you make it the least bit confusing? Why?
Vince, we've all used our real first and last names forever in wrestling.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The Undertaker's real name is Undertaker.
Yeah.
Can't change that. What are you talking about? That's crazy talk. All right. Once again, we attempted to go 60 minutes, but because of all of you, you made us do story time.
Yes.
It's your fault. There's 2 Monday Night Football games tonight, Vince. Now, I know there's playoff baseball the next 2 days. Is there actually a fantasy playoff?
No. Thank God it's over, Coach. I'm off till next season. It's over.
Oh my God. I was going to say that'd be a stretch for me.
Yeah.
That'd be
Coach, I'm going to give you a cliffhanger.
Give it to me.
And I don't know if you're going to want to show this on Stadium. It's your call, but we're definitely going to show it on YouTube on Thursday.
Okay.
And I don't even think you knew this existed. I found a picture with Vince McMahon and Tony Khan together. That is the cliffhanger. If you want to show it on Stadium, we will. If you want to make it YouTube, this is your show. I'm just riding the coattails. If you want to make it YouTube exclusive, we will. I found the only known picture of Vince McMahon and Tony Khan together. And it's not out there, guys. I could tell you that. It's not out there. It was sent to me.
So somebody sent you a picture. Is there a chance it could have happened in the last 6 months?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's real?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's the cliffhanger.
Yeah, we better sharpen our resumes up there, old Vince Russo. All right. So Thursday.
Yes.
I've got 2 days to think about it on whether or not we want to throw this up on Stadium, 11 a.m. Eastern time, Thursday. We dominate 2 hours at Stadium. It's what we do. I'm going to have to think about it, Vince. I'm going to have to think about it. I really am. All right. You guys are amazing. We had six names today, Vince, on the Wheel of Doom on Thursday for our latest Mamby-Pamby t-shirt winner.
Very, very nice.
So I think we can get to 15 on Thursday. I really do.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. That's going to do it for now. If you guys like sports and sports betting, we're going to be heading over at 7 p.m. Eastern time on our Coach and Company YouTube page. Jets and the Dolphins and the Bengals and the Broncos, breaking it all down. We've already cashed like 3 tickets today. So I encourage you to tune in every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time as well, because we're just going to put money in your back pocket. That's what we do. So we'll see you in 30 minutes. For Vince Russo, producer man, we got Mikey P working on the show, and Double D, Dirt Sheet Dan as well. I am the coach. We'll see you Thursday morning live on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. I'm the coach. Until then, enjoy your pro wrestling just like we do.